What is good, everybody? This is Show Your Stripes, episode number 14 or 15. I'm not even sure anymore. I'm joined, as always, by Allie.
Hey guys, what is up?
And we are also joined with a special guest. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, my name is John. I am working with Woodward Sports. I do the Woodward Tigers podcast. All things baseball, all things Tigers. I'm all about it. Actually know Will from high school. We went to high school together. I think we had a couple classes together. So yeah, I appreciate you letting me come on and talk some baseball, get some good experience. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good having somebody else come on to talk some baseball with us. So we're gonna recap the series against the Angels because that Royals series. Let's be honest, we don't need to cover that. That series sucked some serious balls. So
Like usual, whenever we play them, I feel that is a very frequent happening.
Don't we play them tomorrow?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
and that's
we do.
concerning.
We still have 2 more series against them this season.
So
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we just finished a 3-game series against the LA Angels in Anaheim, and to be honest, it probably could not. If you didn't include yesterday's game, the series was a total wash.
Yeah. What, that was the first game I guess we're going to go into. That was what, our 19th? 19th?
8, 9. It was 19 again.
Yeah, it was 19.
You're about to break the record, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my
We'll
god.
tie it if we get to the next one.
Yeah, we'll be tied. We still got about a month ago.
Yeah. Oh god, that was a rough game to watch.
I mean, the lineup they even put out was rough. I mean, Riley Green was Riley Green who lost his hitting streak. It ended at, I believe it was like 12 or 13 games.
I think 13 games, yeah.
Willie Castro in right field, Javi Baez at shortstop, who ended up getting pinch hit for because the game was out of reach.
They struck out 3 times in 3 at-bats. 3 strikeouts.
Oh,
Eric Haas, Harold Castro, Torkelson came back up. Kerry Carpenter, Cody Clemens ended up pitching for the 4th time in a week.
5th time overall this season.
I think it was 6th, actually.
No.
6th.
Yeah. He pitched twice within like a week, I think.
It was more than that.
Which is absolutely ridiculous.
Ryan Kreidler got the start at third base and Victor Reyes in left field. So that lineup on paper was not good, especially when you're going up against Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. I mean, regardless of what the lineup was in regards to who's around them.
Yeah, they both homered in that game. I think Ohtani had 2 home runs. Trout had 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And the Tigers lost that game 10-0, and an absolute shellacking of a baseball game at the Big A.
Tyler Alexander was terrible. He gave up, I think it was 6 earned runs.
Yeah, he did. It was 6.
Definitely was not a good start for him at all.
10 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned. It only struck out 2 while allowing 2 home runs to Ohtani and Trout. So I guess if you want to say I got owned by the 2 best players in the game, put that on your resume to Mr. Alexander.
Yeah, it raises his ERA over 5 now. So
I think the only good thing that came out of this game that I still am like laughing about is Clemens striking out and then asking to save the ball. I thought that video was so funny.
Yeah, I was when I heard about that, because I didn't watch this game, I'm going to be honest, because it was so late at night, I didn't feel like watching, because I had a feeling, like, especially when it got out of reach, I didn't feel like turning it on. But I got a notification saying that Cody Clemens came into the game, and then a couple minutes later, I got a notification that he struck out Shohei Ohtani, and I'm like, is this real life? I'm like, give him reliever of the fucking year already, like, my God.
Yeah, didn't it make ESPN?
I think it did, yeah. I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that Otani even like signed the ball for him too, which is great.
Yeah,
It definitely, but I mean, other than that, I feel like it was just a total disaster.
I mean, literally, we only had 4 hits and only 2 extra base hits. Those were both doubles by Torkelson and Victor Reyes. And I mean, just looking at
You
these
know,
numbers, he had 11 strikeouts, 2
ugh,
walks.
that strikeout to walk ratio is just so bad.
I mean, especially when you compare it to the Angels over here with seven strikeouts to 1 walk, but you actually had 16 hits and 10 runs.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, for those of you who've been listening, I've been paying attention to the errors. And of course, Baez got another one. Actually, got two during this series. So now he is up to 23 errors, where our next person in the MLB with the most amount of errors is at 17.
Oh my
And
goodness.
and I believe that still might be Bobby Wood Jr. I'm not 100%
I
sure.
think it's Bobby Witt Jr. tied from someone, I think, on the Blue Jays, too. I think. I was just looking it up a little while.
Let me just look it up here.
I thought he was supposed to be a good fielder.
You know,
That's
He's
what
good
you
at
think,
only at like when he's doing flashy plays. When he's doing like
routine.
normal
Yeah.
routine plays, he's never good at it.
I mean, and Brooke saved his ass so many times. I feel if it wasn't for him for multiple times, I feel like he could be potentially at like almost 30. I'm not
Yeah.
even like, at least, I don't know. It's just bad. It's so bad to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's no reason.
it's Javi Baez and then Bobby Wood Jr. and Bo Bichette tied at
Hmm.
17.
Yeah.
So all
So, I mean,
shortstops.
oh yeah. The whole list, it's mainly shortstops, which I mean, I guess somewhat makes sense, but still.
Mhm.
But yeah, the Angels did not get fooled by Tyler Alexander in that game. Like I said, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, and he was out of the game by the 5th inning.
Hmm.
It was a complete and utter disaster.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else you can say about it, to be honest.
Moving on.
Um,
Yeah, honestly.
Another
Get
day, another Tigers loss because
yeah.
the next day we lost 5-4 in probably one of the most ridiculous fashions I've ever seen.
We
Because
just can't go we can't go into 10th innings. This team just can't do it. They don't have it for this.
it's literally impossible for this team to take a lead in the 10th and then hold it in the
I
bottom of the
I'm
10th.
pretty sure with this game they are 1-5, I believe, with going into the 10th. It's either 1-5 or 1-6 going into 10th inning.
Give them credit; they actually hit the ball on
I know.
it would have been Tuesday
Yeah.
night, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Javi Baez had 2 hits, 3 RBIs, so he had a nice game.
Yeah.
I mean the only
Better
problem
than the
with
night
that was he
before.
was the one who committed one of the game losing errors in the bottom of the 10th. So
Mm.
Of course.
um
That would
Yeah.
be. I mean, if it was going to be someone, it was more than likely going to be him.
so yeah, we had 8 hits. Victor Reyes 2 for 5, Javi Baez 2 for 5, Torkelson 1 for 4, Ryan Crowder 1 for 4, Eric Haas had a pinch hit, pinch hit single, Willie Castro had a hit. I mean, the hitting
I
was
mean,
not the problem in this game. It was just the execution.
Yeah.
it's one or
Erod.
the other.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. You can go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Erod was pretty good. He had through
Oh
7
yeah.
innings, but he gave up 3 home runs. He only gave up 5 hits, but 3 of them were home runs. So
And I
Hmm.
believe the first 2 were back to back, I believe, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
another one for
And
Trout.
no, it was in the 2nd inning. It was the second and third ones.
Yeah.
It was Mike Ford and Joe Adell
Hmm.
hitting him in the second, which you wouldn't believe if you had told me those two were hitting back and back home runs. I would not have believed you because I
Yeah, it
mean
was
Mike Ford is a Yankee cast off, and Joe
yeah.
Adell has not proven me to be the high-touted prospect that he is.
Mm.
No,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
definitely. I mean, at this point, I literally feel like our entire lineup is basically the Mud Hens. I don't even want to know how they're doing. I haven't checked to see what they've been doing
But
because
It literally was the Mud Hens lineup yesterday because you had other
Josh Lester.
than
Yep.
Victor Reyes. I'm sorry, no Reyes was down there at one point and on rehab. Other than Baez, Harold Castro, and Tucker Barnhart, everybody else in that lineup had at least been in the Mud Hens for at least one game.
Mhm. Yeah, Josh
like
Lester, he got sent back down. I
Which
think
I don't
today.
I don't
today,
quite understand that move. I'll get into it later, but
I didn't
uh,
see that. Damn.
yeah, he got optioned for scope apparently, which quite honestly, I'm not sure why they're even bringing him back up at this point, considering the season's already over.
Oh yeah, he's been
Yeah,
terrible.
I
I mean,
don't understand that.
why would you bring a guy up like Josh Lester to give him the shot to get his first major league hit and then send him back down like 2 days later without him getting the hit? I literally don't understand the point behind that.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one that's been in AAA for like a lot of seasons,
Yeah,
right?
I think he's been in the minors for like either 6 or 7 years. It's been a
Let
grind for
him
him.
just
Mhm.
let him have his chance. Like it took Torque and Riley both a few games to get their first hit. Clemens, like it took all of them at least a game or like 2 games to get it. So damn,
I
let
just
the man
don't-
have his
I mean, there
chance.
had to be a better player that could have been sent down, or a worse player that could have been sent down for him. But like, I
Yeah,
understand they want Cody Clemens up here for his utility.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
Akil Badu's been terrible. I mean, he's a guy I feel like that could have
yeah,
been sent
I mean,
down.
he had that point like a couple weeks ago where he was actually hitting the ball somewhat consistently, but that's definitely gone away
Yeah, he
without
has
him playing.
mhm. He has 1 home run and 136 at bats this year.
yeah. That's rough.
And that home run was, I believe, in the second series of the season.
Yeah, I don't know what he's still doing up here. I don't
I
know.
mean, I love Akil Badu, but like, he is not a major league player at the moment.
And it sucks because he was so great last year. I mean, he was a rookie of the year candidate last year.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I know it's just a sophomore slump or whatever, but like, I don't want to give up on him. But like, he's not proving me anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I agree. It
But
sucks.
moving on back to the game at hand, I mean, to be honest, like I said, the Tigers should have probably won that game, but Javi Baez with a ridiculous throw in the bottom of the 10th, where he like sidearmed a throw to home
Mm.
plate, which to be honest, he probably would not have gotten him at home plate anyway.
But
But like,
still,
you need to make a better throw than that. Stop trying to make it look silly.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I agree. I mean, I feel like if anyone was gonna mess up the role, it would be Bias. But um, it just sucks because I actually like, especially once they actually scored a run in the 10th, I was like, oh my god, they might actually win this game.
And
Which
this
I
was in like
usually,
the middle of a stretch where I felt like they had not won a game in ages, even though it had been only a few days.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, at least. Oh wait,
yeah, it
I
would have
lost
been
my
nice.
train of thought.
It would have been nice if they had held on in that game to win that one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk going to the third game because I feel like there's a lot of positive that went
Yeah,
down at the third
Oh
game.
yeah, definitely.
that was
I
the
mean,
one bright spot of this entire series by a long
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, one of the bright spots of the season, honestly, for me.
yeah, it definitely was one of the top games of the season. I have to feel at least like I feel like they honestly did a good job yesterday, and I feel like I don't say that a lot, so it definitely
Yeah,
was.
it was like a newsworthy game, which you can't really say a
Yeah,
lot about most of the games this year.
no, I mean the biggest thing for me, I am like a huge Torque fan, so seeing him hitting another home run just definitely at the start of the or like basically the start of the game or the
Mhm.
first run of the game definitely was
Yeah,
really
that was
nice to see.
bomb to center field. That was his first home run in who knows how long.
I know. And it was, I think, 434 feet?
Something like that, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Haas, 5 for 5. I mean, when was the last Tiger to have a 5-hit game? I couldn't even.
It was Nico Goodrum in 2019. They put up a stat about that yesterday in the telecast.
Oh, wow.
I know they tweeted that he's never had a 4-hit game, let alone a 5-hit game. So that was pretty awesome to see as well. Like, yesterday was just, like, good.
Yeah, he was a triple away from the cycle. Had a home run, a double, and 3 singles.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, not only did you have Eric Haas getting that 5 for 5 with the home run, but you had other guys sharing in the wealth in the home run department anyway. We had 4 different guys hitting home runs, Haas, Torque, and then the 2 back-to-back ones in the ninth to tie it and then take the lead, like Kerry Carpenter and Ryan Kreidler with his first major league home run.
That was just awesome to watch. Like, it was just, like, there's only so many moments that have happened this season that I've actually, like, fully, like, enjoyed sitting there and actually, like, watching the whole game, and this was definitely one of them.
Yeah, I was watching the game while racing and on my computer because there's like I was playing that racing with the basically virtual NASCAR racing, and I was watching that and I'm like in the middle of the corner. I crashed my car and I look over and see, holy shit, we just tied it and then took the lead. Like, oh my god.
I wasn't even watching the game, but then I kept getting these Twitter notifications, and everyone was tagging me that Torque had hit a home run. And then I was like, okay, like, I'm watching it now.
Yeah, I had like switched to get over to my computer to watch it on there, and I didn't even see it live.
Yeah, Kerry Carpenter, I was very happy he hit a home run because I think hopefully he can be a piece for us next season.
Oh, yeah, it's nice to see all of these. I feel like a lot of our rookies that have come up recently have been starting to get more of the hang of it, honestly. I mean, obviously, like, once in a while, once we have these nice games, because, I mean, in general, obviously, this season has been a mess with all of it.
Yeah, so obviously Drew Hutchison started yesterday, and I'll give him credit, he was not bad, but he gave up, I believe it was 2 home runs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 1 home run.
One.
He gave up 2 runs though.
Yeah, and the home run was to Matt Thaiss of all people, which is kind of embarrassing because that dude does not hit for power.
All of their pretty much every run except for one run between both of our teams yesterday were from homers. The only run that was not.
Well, was Trout and Ohtani's, were they both solo shots?
Yes, it's like Angels were all home runs. There was one run for us that was actually brought in, but the rest of them were all home runs, which is crazy to me.
As well mentioned, Mike Trout hit a home run in every game of this series. So, I mean, he was really at one of our side this whole entire series.
Yeah,
he's all right. He's not bad.
I mean, at least that didn't necessarily happen to us in the last series. We played them at home, so
yeah. Sorry, it could have been worse if they'd went off when they went to Detroit. And I wanted to mention there was literally nobody at this game. I'm looking at the attendance. It was because it was over 100 degrees at first pitch and sunny in SoCal. And the attendance figure here says it was 15,756, and I completely say that is complete and utter bullshit.
Oh yeah,
because
it looked
looking at like the different shots of the crowd that they showed, there was like more empty seats than fans, like by a wide margin.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
But like I said, so Cisnero gets the win because of the 2 home runs in the ninth. And then Gregory Soto gave up a hit after getting the first 2 strikeouts. and then struck out the side eventually. So
Yeah.
and it was
What are
funny
your,
because
what are your thoughts on Gregory Soto, Will? I know he's been getting a lot of hate and stuff because he hasn't been that good.
we've been joining in on that. I don't agree, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think he's that good, and
no.
I thought I'm gonna put it into this tweet because Chris Castellani put it up best. He said, "I feel like Gregory Soto is gonna throw just
Yeah,
get the side here, and just to make people think that he's good."
and he did.
But he's not. He like the amount of times he's almost blown games for us. Like
Especially
I'm
within the
sorry,
past month.
your your closer should be able to just come out and like strike out. There should be there shouldn't be that many. There shouldn't be as many walks as this man has.
If
Like
you like,
the amount of pitchers he is, or the amount of batters he has hit this season is ridiculous.
like if you
Seven.
compare it to like a save by Edwin Diaz or somebody elite like that, it's like watching a completely different game in the way way he gets saves done and how Gregory Soto gets his done. Because if Soto has his stuff by like the first pitch he throws, if it's wild, he doesn't have it, or if he throws like a strike dotted, he'll have it.
Yeah. Who else would you guys like to see potentially get an opportunity at the closing role? If anyone on the team right now you think you'd rather see be the closer?
Uh, in my opinion, I'd probably go with Joe Jimenez or Chafin. I mean, honestly, if I had to pick between the two, though, I'd probably go with Jimenez because he's had experience in this role in the
Yeah,
past.
He's an
he's been
all-star.
doing he's been doing pretty well this season, so I definitely would have to agree with that. And I would love to see him close more. Honest. Like because seeing Soto come into a safe situation, I always feel like it's just gonna end like that. Like I never actually think it's gonna go good for us. No matter how much of a lead we have, no matter how much of a lead we have. Like I think it was the 4th of July game I was at America, and pretty sure we had going in to we had like a decent um we had a decent lead, and I'm pretty sure he gave up like two runs that game or something. I was like I really thought the game was like done for, to be honest. It's definitely I know he can be a good pitcher, but he just frustrates me a lot.
So, yeah, definitely. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to a quick little segment because before we end this episode, we wanted to bring up who we think our postseason favorites are, because the postseason's coming up, and obviously we will not be there. I think we've already been eliminated, but
Yeah.
but so right now the standings, the Yankees lead the AL East by only 4.5 games over the Rays. The Guardians lead our division by only 1.5. Houston's running away with the West by 11.5. Well, 11 games. Atlanta and the Mets are basically tied. The Mets are only ahead by half a game. The Cardinals are up 8 games over the Brewers, and then the Dodgers are the Dodgers, and they are literally almost. And they're up 19 games over San Diego.
Their magic number is 7 to win the division, which is crazy because it's only the beginning of September.
Yeah.
I mean, they're quietly on their way to winning 107 games or something like that.
All right. So other than the Dodgers, because I feel like it'd just be kind of easy to say, "Oh, the Dodgers are going to win." What other team in the NL do you see is the biggest threat to the Dodgers?
In my opinion,
Cardinals.
I'd say the Mets or the Braves. But if I had to pick between the two, I'd probably say the Braves just because of how consistent they've been recently, especially since they've won 7 in a row.
Yeah, I like the Mets. I just don't. Their offense is the best. I think the Braves offensively are a lot more. They have a lot more depth than the Mets. I would think the Braves. I would take them over the Mets.
Yeah, I think the Braves will win that division just because the Mets do not have the like I said, the depth, and plus I know the Mets are notorious for not backing up their starters. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
especially I seen a stat that I think of like DeGrom's 7 starts, only 2 of them the Mets have scored more than 3 runs against the other team.
yeah. And you said the Cardinals. I think that's a good one because I think the Cardinals
Yeah.
are really underrated.
I mean, they've been, I feel, on a very decent hot streak lately, too. I mean, there was the other night where they pulled the win off in the last night. I just feel they are very good at coming out from underneath and really just getting ahead. So,
Yeah, I think they belong in that same tier as the Braves and the Mets. Like
mhm.
they are really really good this year, and they have a 8-game lead. You know, they have that division. I wouldn't say on wraps, but they're in control right now in the
Yeah,
NL
definitely.
Central.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you thinking
Agreed.
for the AL? Who's your guys' favorite in the AL?
Honestly, I'd say Houston, but like
Yeah, you have
um
the Verlander injury that plays a role.
Yeah,
I would have said the
definitely.
Yankees like probably a month ago, but they have not been good for the
No.
past month or so, and I mean, like I said it before, their division lead was like almost 20 games at one point, and now it's down to only 4.5.
Yeah, the AL's wide open. Honestly, like there really is not one team
No.
that has really separated themselves.
No. I mean, just since like there was, I know I talked about it in our podcast, but I a few weeks ago I was looking at like the wins between our team and the Yankees after the All-Star break, and at that
Mhm.
point when I looked at it, the Yankees were only 2 above. Like they just since the All-Star break have not had any. Like they just have not.
Yeah, like I like Seattle. I like their pitching a lot, but their offense just don't have the same firepower as the Astros.
Yeah.
So I don't think I can take them over the Astros. Pretty much everyone in the AL Central is just mediocre at this point.
I mean, honestly, let's be honest. Whoever wins the division is going to probably get swept in the wild card or the ALDS.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
I think Toronto, I mean, they have the offense, so
But
I think
they're extremely inconsistent. I've noticed because they're like a stream that's the team that's like either really streaky or
mhm,
they're really good or they're really bad. Like right now,
Mhm.
they've won 8 of their last 10, so they're good. But like that team can be very streaky because they had that period of time where they lost like it seemed like it was not that long ago I think, or they lost like 8 in a row.
yeah, they fired their
Yeah.
manager this year. I don't know. I like Tampa Bay, but I just don't know if offensively they have enough to compete with the Astros
Can't
and
stay
Yankees.
healthy over there.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know. I haven't seen their lineups recently, but I know they don't have Wander Franco right now. They
Mhm.
don't have they don't have Kiermaier over there.
No,
Like
I think Kiermaier is out for the rest of the year.
yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
look at the lineup that they had recently, but they've been throwing out some of the weirdest lineups I've ever seen. Like
mhm.
they had Diaz, Brandon Lau, Harold Ramirez batting third, Randy Rosarina, David Peralta,
Yeah.
Manuel Margot, Francisco Mejia, G-Man Choi, and Taylor Walls. So I mean, I'm not saying that team can't make noise, but they need to get healthier if they want to do anything.
Yeah, I think if the Astros are healthy, then they should probably be the favorite. Because I think the Yankees, other than Aaron Judge, their offense has just not been very good this year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, literally, Aaron Judge is just carrying the goddamn Yankees. I mean,
Um,
half the time I've seen on Yankees Twitter enough. They literally want their team dead half the time
Mhm.
because they
They
think
literally,
like
they
Josh
literally
Donaldson and Isaiah Kinda are like the next coming of the goddamn Antichrist and want him
literally,
dead.
weren't they literally tweeting you asking if we could trade offenses with them?
Yep, there was a point where they were so bad offensively, they thought that our offense was a better offense than
no,
theirs.
there's no way. I'm sorry. Yeah, like Rizzo, I know is injured right now. Stanton, he has not been good at all. I mean, I'm
He's
looking.
injured too, I think.
Yeah, they've had injury problems. Like I know Nestor Cortez is injured too. So,
Mhm.
and they did lose to Minnesota tonight. So,
But I'm looking at it here. You've got Isaiah Kinderful-Leffer who's hitting 269, and they think that he's like the worst thing since A-Rod did steroids.
well, he's known for his defense.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even a bad hitter. They just think
No.
because he can't hit home runs that he's literally the worst player in the history of baseball and needs to be run out of town.
Yeah, and LeMayu's injured too. So they've had a lot of injuries too. To be fair,
I mean, I've seen it so bad over there that Yankees fans have literally sent fucking death threats to IKF's family just because of, my guy can't hit in the clutch. I don't know. They're literally so delusional over there. They'll think that a guy who's hitting 269 is the worst player in baseball history or something.
yeah, he'd be one of the better hitters on the Tigers. I feel like.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
would be.
come look at us. I mean, come on, people.
I mean, I'm thinking to myself, like, if you're gonna complain about offense, go watch our games and see how it's like over here before you talk about that. I mean, you're talking like really entitled or something.
Mhm.
I mean, you got a guy hitting 55 home runs on his way to probably break Roger Maris's record of 61, and you're saying, "Oh, my offense is so fucking terrible." You lead the East. You got a winning record. Just shut up!
Yeah,
Like, my
they're
God.
making the playoffs. Like they're guaranteed to make the playoffs. So I mean, pretty much, there's no way that they're not making the playoffs.
I mean, at least the Red Sox aren't making it too.
Yeah. Oh, I also just sticking on the AL Central. Who's your guys' favorite out of the three teams that are fighting for the division right now?
That's a tough question because all teams in this division are fucking atrocious. Especially like the Guardians they're either good or they're really bad. Like right now, they're not good. But the Twins have not done anything to.
I really like the Guardians, but they just don't have the offense.
Yeah,
Compete
no.
with the big team. Yeah, what do
I
you
mean,
think, Allie?
if I had to pick one, I feel like I would possibly say the Twins. Ugh, I don't even know, to be honest.
I mean, the
I
Twins are
feel
only
like,
2 games above 500 now, and
yeah,
you're telling me they're only 1.5 games out of first place. This division just fucking sucks, dude.
This is the worst I've ever seen. Like you literally can be
It's
500.
legitimately like the tank division. Like if you watched football in 2020, you know who the 2020 NFC East was one of the worst divisions I've ever seen. And I believe I think the football team at the time got in with a 7-9 record.
Really?
And this is basically the baseball equivalent of that division.
Well, yeah. Well, the 2006 Cardinals that beat the Tigers in the World Series, they only won 83 games.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we could see that again,
yeah.
I mean, I literally just cannot see any of these teams making it to 90 games. I'm sorry, I just can't see it.
It's
Oh,
pretty
me
much
neither.
it's almost impossible. Like because you go 90 and 72. So if you're looking at their losses right now, they literally have to almost win out to win 90 games, pretty much.
Yeah. It's just not going to happen, so.
Like, of all the division leaders, the Cleveland is the only one to still have a record of 70 games or less.
Yeah, all the teams have mid 80s, and they're sitting at 70. Like it's crazy.
Like if the Guardians were in, let's say the AL West, they would be in third. If they were in the NL East, they'd be in fourth. If they were in the NL Central, they'd be in third. If they were in the NL West, they'd be in third. And if they were in the AL East, they'd be in fifth.
That is wild.
If the Guardians were in the AL East, they would legitimately be in last in the division. That is embarrassing.
Yeah.
About the White Sox, because I feel like the White Sox, they have the talent, but they don't
have the management to do it. I know Tony La Russa is away from the team right now, but that's not really helping anything.
No, but they're only 2 games out, so all it takes is like a 5-game
win. If they get in,
streak.
It'll be a legitimately travesty to the league because they had been under 500 most of this season. And if they get in, I'm sorry, probably the most Mickey Mouse playoff berth I've ever seen. They do not deserve to be in the position that they're in at all. They've been injured. Tony La Russa has mismanaged the team. They've literally done everything in their power to not be good, yet they somehow are 2 games out of first with a negative run differential.
Yeah. It's just, I really. Yeah.
But it'll be exciting to see.
I mean, even like compared to run differential, I'm looking at run differentials here. You've got like the Dodgers who lead the NL West with a 298 positive run differential. The Cardinals lead theirs with a plus 131. Mets plus 129. Houston 170. And the Yankees plus 195. And you've got Cleveland plus 21.
Yeah. Yeah, so you would probably they're gonna be the 3rd seed because they're gonna win the division, so they'll probably face the Mariners or Rays or Blue Jays in the postseason, which
and they probably lose that series.
Yeah, I mean you never know in playoff baseball, but
yeah,
only time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. We got a 3-game series coming up against the Kansas City Royals. Game 1 will probably, by the time I release this, it'll probably be today. Friday, September 9th, Tigers and Royals from Kansas City. It'll be Joey Wentz getting called up again to pitch for the Tigers.
Yep.
After Michael Pineda got designated for reassignment, Joey Wentz takes his spot in the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Daniel Lynch going up for the Royals. So, I mean, this series will have no implications on anything.
Well, that's not true because it could be the tanking, the tank race.
Yeah, even if that's the case, there's still a draft lottery now, so there's really no.
Oh, there is. I was not aware of that.
Yeah, there's literally a draft lottery now. I think right now we're in position to get one of the 3 best odds to get the first pick, but yeah, there's literally a draft lottery in place, and I'm not a fan of it. So
yeah, I mean that is what it is.
I mean, at least if we get a good pick, we won't have Alavila mismanaging it anymore. So
that is true. That's very fair.
Yeah, you have Manning going in game 2. I believe game 3 is Tyler Alexander.
It would not be surprised me if that was the case. I got to pull it up here just to make sure. It will be So you said Matt Manning tomorrow, or I'm sorry, on Saturday, and I'm trying to get this to load here. What is this thing doing?
And then Alexander on Sunday. I can check who's coming up for the Royals.
It's Ryan Heasley on Saturday against the Tigers for KC, and then on Sunday, Brady Singer, who is notorious for literally owning this team. I literally do not understand how they cannot hit off of him.
No, I don't understand that.
So, and then after that, we come home to play the Astros, which
hopefully Verlander will be back.
If Verlander's come off the injured list, I believe, for that series.
Verlander's pitching in Comerica, that's a game I feel like a lot of people will be.
Definitely. Definitely.
My favorite all-time player, personally. I love that man.
I love Verlander. If he is pitching, I hopefully would be able to possibly at least watch the game. I don't know if I'd be able to go, but I would.
So I guess that'll wrap it up. This episode of Sherry Stripes. Anything else you guys want to
add? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for listening, guys, and thanks for the support. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody.